Exclusive contract from Feilu Novel Network Novel. People in the Ninja Realm. Collapse of the system, misalignment of Class 7, flowing clouds have crossed and become the younger brother of Qimu Wuwukai, who does not exist. Then, the system appeared. Then, the system crashed. Then, Liuyun realized that he seemed invincible. Then, such a scene appeared. Well, I'm sorry, because I don't want Sasuke to get hurt. The ninjutsu that my seniors taught me is all about defense. The psychic technique. Steel Shield Gundam. Orochimaru fell silent as he watched Sakura stand on top of a steel giant hundreds of meters away. Oh, 7 times a day. As my senior once said, the betrayal I see is not terrifying, but the betrayal I cannot see. Are you sure you still want to fight me in my illusion? In the mirrored space, countless Sasuke, with their hair gel and hands in their pockets, do not know what the dozen or 7 in front of them are. Hahaha. My senior said my ambition is too small, so today I announce that I, Naruto Vortex, am the man who wants to become the king of the 5 shadows. You all go up together, I want to fly you. Ying looked at Huang Mao sitting in the midst of the 5 destructive tornadoes and listened to the heartless laughter, trembling with fear. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. System crashes, am I invincible? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Hehe, by the way, is it so hasty to travel now? I can just take a nap and travel. Even if I travel, I don't have to travel to such a dangerous place, do I? Liuyun sat in a grocery store, unable to laugh or cry, looking at the goods around the grocery store, helplessly roast. 2 hours ago, he arrived at this unfamiliar grocery store and after a heart-wrenching brainstorming session, he found himself transported. And I have traveled to a very dangerous place, a family of ninjas. In an era where human life is like a blade of grass. Fortunately, the timing of the journey was not bad, and it was just 60 years since I graduated from the top 12. And his identity is also good, it is an identity that Naruto does not have. Flag with flowing clouds. You can tell by the name, a member of the Qimu family and the younger brother of Qimu Kakashi, who happens to be 20 years old this year. However, the person who should not have existed in this Naruto has actually not had much impact on the world. Because he is wearing it. But strangely obtained a movie version memory. In my fleeting memory, Qimu Liuyun was a person with little presence. If it weren't for him being the youngest son of the Qimu family and the younger brother that Kakashi cared about the most, no one would have known him. Although Qimu Liuyun is a ninja, he is just a ninja, and this kid has no big ambitions. He only wants to live a peaceful and leisurely life. This idea is quite similar to Naruto, but unfortunately he doesn't have the same high IQ as others. After enduring for a while, I only occasionally complete some trivial tasks. In other times, I rely on the money earned from the tasks and Kakashi's billion-point support to open this flowing cloud grocery store. I usually stay here and live a peaceful life. This is all the memory that Liuyun has gained, just like in a movie, but he can't remember the plot when watching a movie. He does remember this memory. As for why wearing it still carries memory, Liuyun expresses a lack of understanding, which may be due to world corrections or unknown hidden systems, directly affecting the world's cognition and allowing the world to accept the existence of a new flag with Liuyun. Fortunately, it took Liuyun 5 minutes to get used to it, because this flag with Liuyun is the same as Liuyun in all aspects except his family name and nationality, which is too easy to replace. Ding! After Liuyun roast, a mechanical sound suddenly came to his ear. Liuyun was taken aback and immediately shouted to himself, "Damn it! Isn't it? I really have a system. I don't want it. I don't want to do tasks. You leave me." Although there has been speculation for a long time, Liuyun really doesn't want to make a name for himself in this world. What's the point? What is the reason for beating and killing? Isn't it for a good life? He lives quite well now. Kiba is the best ninja village. Although there are constant crises, it is only aimed at ninjas. After several major battles, Kiba's civilians have lived well. Although the attack on Nagato destroyed Kiba, as long as they leave Kiba for a period of time, wouldn't that be enough? In Liuyun's memory, Qimu Liuyun had already submitted an application to the third generation 2 months ago to lift his ninja status. Although it may seem a bit difficult, it is actually quite simple. He doesn't have any ninja talent, he just has to endure. Having a Kakashi as a ninja at home is enough, and based on various speculations in his past life, the suicide of Huang Mao is a conspiracy between Sandai and Tanzang. It seems that Sandai should owe some money to the Kiki family. So Liuyun believes that there is still a great chance of passing this application. What's so scary about being a commoner? Isn't it enough to live a beautiful little life? As for whether one will be bullied without strength. Hehe, the flag wood is 5 or 5 open, would you like to know more about it? Who dares to bully? Tuanzang's revenge for killing his father. Hehe, I'm wearing it. I don't even know Qimu Wuwukai, okay. Even in the acquired memories, there are not many images of the towering flag trees. After all, Qimu Wuwukai was born in the 42nd year of the reign of Mai, and according to his age, he was born in the 40th year of Mai. Normally, what memories can a 2-year-old child have? Besides, if you want to retaliate against Tuanzang, do you still have to do it yourself? When the 2 pillars become stronger in the future, they will secretly poke, and the fool will instantly help him seek revenge. Believe it or not. The most important thing, buddy, is whether you dress well or not. Although I remember being patient, in reality, I didn't even feel the existence of any so-called chakras on him, seeking revenge with my own hands. That really fulfilled the sentence. Give it a try and die. So, cheap dad, forgive your non-existent son. The time-traveling party is like this. Because of this, Liuyun can truly live a stress-free life, and only those who lack the heart are willing to be forced to become stronger by the system. Unfortunately, the system paid no attention to Liuyun's ambition and still activated it, although it was a bit strange. ZH system enabled. ZH due to intervening in the world. Imposing characters. System became chaotic. System completely crashed. System conversion. Host received all system gifts. Property pages opened. Enhancement points. Infinite. System completely crashed. Boom. Liuyun only heard a huge roar in his ear, causing his head to buzz, but soon there was no sound left. I'll wipe it. What's going on? The system is still crashing. So you really modified my identity. Big brother, without this diamond, don't take on porcelain work. What does it mean to play it for yourself? By the way, it seems like the system gave me something amazing. What do other people's systems say? Property pages. Liuyun had just pronounced these words when suddenly a blue virtual screen appeared in front of him. Flag wood flowing cloud, strength. 1, plus, normal endurance standard is 10, speed. 1, plus, physical fitness. 1, plus, spirit. 1, plus, chakra. 0, plus, chakra attribute. Wind, 0, fire, 10, thunder, 0, earth, 0, water, 0, yin, 0, yang, 0, plus, blood relay limit. None, plus, tumbling beast. None, plus, skills. Transformation technique, plus, substitution technique, plus, separation technique, plus, fire escape hail wokyu technique, plus. Enhancement point. Infinite. Looking at his own attributes, Liuyun realized that he was really scumbag, tarnishing the name of Qimu. Speaking of which, he was really worried that he might not be able to get a DNA test one day. Kakashi and Qimu Wuwukai both have silver hair, but the Liuyun they are wearing has black hair. Although they have a handsome little face, they are in line with the appearance of the Qimu family. What is the situation with chakras that do not have excessive attributes? Isn't Qimu's family all thunder-like? Can you be more reliable in modifying characters as well? And this talent is also too poor. Since you have all modified ninjutsu, why would you have a 3-body spell and a giant fireball that never burns to death? In my memory, it seems that Qimu Liuyun only knows these 4 techniques. But the system doesn't make sense. How did you modify the value of my check carat to 0? How does a chakra with 0 have attributes? How did you learn the 4 ninjutsu techniques? How does 1/10 of the lower tolerance value become a ninja? This value, in the ninja world, can even a 6-year-old child hang and beat me, right? Can you defend me? Of course, they all collapsed, which seems a bit illogical and quite logical. Well, it's very scientific. Or, cool. Learn. It seems to have crossed the stage. Does the system understand itself so well? Isn't this value forcing me to salty fish? As for the final and most noteworthy infinite enhancement point, Liuyun doesn't feel much. He is not like others, with infinite enhancement points, he feels like he can instantly move the air. He really doesn't want to improve his strength. If he does, the 3rd generation may not let him become a commoner, which is not what he hopes for. As for taking down the 3rd generation and the upper position of Tuanzang, Liuyun said, let's leave this matter to Lord Daishimaru and Urju. There is Naruto in the upper position, and seeing him exhausted like a dog in Boruto, Liuyun has no interest in this position at all. Of course, Liuyun is not so foolish. With the support of the system, it is at least much safer than before and still very fragrant. Just that famous saying. I can do without it, but I can't do without it. He now has the right to lift the table no matter what he says. With this confidence, living in the ninja world would be much easier. In order to test the effect, Liuyun followed the routine and silently said something in his heart. Strengthen the chakra a bit. As soon as I finished speaking, I saw on the attribute page that chakra instantly changed from 0 to 1. Immediately, Liuyun felt her body warm and comfortable, and also felt that there was some kind of energy added to her body, flowing along with her meridians, which was very magical. This is an unexpected joy, of course. What surprised Liuyun was not the ability to instantly control chakra, but the added comfort of the accident. This can be used for future entertainment. If you have nothing to do, add some extra comfort. Maybe you can give Miss Wu a break. If the system knew the benefits of the flow cloud on the enhancement point, it would probably collapse again. You really have strength, which girl can't be found. You deserve to be a stinky loser in this lifetime. Bang! At this moment, Liuyun saw a cloud of white smoke in front of him, and then saw Qimu Kakashi appear in front of him. Seeing the characters in this anime, Liuyun felt a little excited. After all, he had seen a real person. But this real person doesn't seem to be in a good mood, with a pitch-black face and an unhappy look at Liuyun. Liuyun, I heard you submitted an application to Lord Hokage to leave the ninja. Kakashi asked in dissatisfaction. Well, automatic language recognition, very time traveling. For Kakashi, Liuyun's emotions are quite complex. On the one hand, it is his liking for this character, and on the other hand, it is his deep emotional attachment to Kakashi in memory, even though it has been modified by the system. What did the 3rd generation tell you? Liuyun sneered and said, facing this brother, he doesn't have any pressure at all. Even though he knows he will be unhappy, there's nothing he can do. Who said Kakashi has been spoiling him since childhood? Little Day Language Online. Identity Transfer Ability Max. Instantly transform into a little brother. At this moment it was evident that Kakashi had an extra letter in his hand. Upon closer inspection, Liuyun realized that it was actually his own application submitted. "I'll go." "Brother, what are you doing?" Liuyun suddenly had a bad feeling. "Humph." Sure enough, Kakashi snorted coldly and tore up the application. "I don't allow this matter. I have already explained to the third generation that you will join my 7th class as an exception tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. at the 36th training ground." After speaking, Kakashi disappeared without waiting for Liuyun, who was already dumbfounded, to speak. It wasn't until Kakashi disappeared that Liuyun regained his senses. He immediately cried and looked up, shouting, "Damn it! Kakashi! Your sister! The civilian life that I dream of. P.S. Just write the suffix once, I won't write it again in the future. I mainly want to tell you that because little Pak A.E. is not very good at writing conspiracy theories and is not good at deep interpretation, what he writes is his most intuitive feeling. Of course, there are some recognized insider stories, such as the Qimu family, the 3 generations and Tuanzang conspiracies, which are generally recognized by everyone. Little Pak A.E. also agrees with them. But fundamentally, I still prefer the tone of Hokage. As for Wind of Fury, Xiao Pujie thinks it's completely another anime, the anime of Xiao Ri, which everyone understands. I will try my best to add the content of the Storm Chronicles on the basis of Hokage, and it's not certain if I can add it well. Please forgive me. I hope everyone can provide valuable feedback, so that Xiaopu Street can also make more progress. If it's not written well this time, will there be another time? Thank you all for your support and voting. Are you going to be beaten when you first meet the 3rd child in Chapter 2? You are listening at novelfull.audio. The next morning, at the 36th training ground, the son of Destiny Naruto, the wife of Destiny Uchiha Sasuke, and the future tea master Haruno Sakura gathered early here. Just as it was 7 o'clock, Kakashi was not late as expected and arrived at the training ground on time, because there was a flag tree Liuyun on his shoulder who was looking at him with a resentful gaze. San Xiaoqiang looked bewildered and foolishly at Kakashi and Liuyun, looking at each other for a moment. And at this moment, Liuyun's heart is collapsing. Yesterday, Kakashi took advantage of his lack of reaction and ran away. When he regained his senses, he ran straight home to settle accounts with Kakashi. However, Kakashi, because he knew his brother too well, hid all night and didn't go home. Yes. You heard me right. The famous flag wood was 5 or 5 open, hiding from his younger brother all night. There's no way, this younger brother, who is 6 years younger than him, left his parents shortly after he was born. He took care of him from a young age and is both a brother and a father. Although his love for him may not be like that of a younger brother like Uchiha Itachi, it is not much different. Yesterday, it was the first time that Kakashi had been so heartless towards his younger brother. He was afraid of being provoked by his brother when he went home, so he would cry, make trouble, and hang himself again. He was afraid that he would really soften his heart. I never thought that his younger brother was already a 20-year-old adult. How could he play such a child's trick? Not to mention the flowing clouds that have crossed over, their real age is only 1 year younger than him. It would be shameful to play the moves of a 2-year-old child with a body of 20. In Kakashi's eyes, the younger brother will never grow up and will always be the same child. However, what Kakashi didn't expect was that Liuyun couldn't find him all night, and the next day there was a silent protest. It was already 6:50 and the bed hadn't gotten up yet. As a result, Kakashi came straight and forcefully changed his clothes, carrying him on his shoulder and coming over. However, along the way, he didn't even dare to look at his younger brother, and that resentful little gaze was too destructive to him. Kakashi. You bastard. Put it down for me. Along the way, there were only 2 words in Liuyun's heart. Shame. What a special thing. 20 years old. Surprisingly, he was carried by his own brother to train. Recalling the strange gazes on the road, Liuyun almost exploded in place. It's better now. The protagonist, Three Little Chang. The first time I met them, it was such a shameful scene. Liuyun feels like dying. For a moment, Liuyun really had a thought and added his attributes to the explosive level, and then dealt a severe blow to Kakashi. However, when he thought about it later on, he decided not to. After all, Kakashi, the older brother, was still very good in his memory, and the warmth and emotions in his memory also made him give Kakashi a beating in his imagination. Pup Tong Liuyun was thrown to the ground, but did not feel any pain. Obviously, Kakashi used a clever move, fearing that his younger brother would be injured. This is still warm in Liuyun's heart, but this small favor is too insignificant compared to his dream of becoming a commoner. Teacher Kakashi, who is this guy? Naruto scratched his head in confusion and asked, "Oh." Kakashi didn't dare to look at the gloomy Liuyun on his face and pretended not to care. He replied, "This is your senior, Qimu Liuyun." He's also my younger brother. Please bear with me. I applied to Lord Huiying yesterday, and from today on, he will also join our 7th class. San Xiaoqiang was surprised and looked at Liuyun in surprise. Not only was he surprised that Kakashi had a younger brother, but what was even more surprising was that Kakashi's younger brother, who was so old, was still patient. Even in Sasuke's eyes, there was a hint of disdain. You should know that yesterday they had already seen Kakashi's strength, very strong. Hello. Kakashi felt embarrassed upon seeing the scene and secretly kicked Liuyun, who was sitting on the ground with an unhappy expression, saying, "Introduce yourself to your new team member." Liuyun pouted and said reluctantly, "My name is Qimu Liuyun, this guy's younger brother. I'm 20 years old this year, and I enjoy sleeping, eating, and daydreaming. My favorite thing is being able to be an ordinary villager, and my least favorite." Speaking of which, Liuyun gave Kakashi a resentful glance and said, "Someone forced me to become a ninja." Seeing this gaze, Kakashi couldn't help but shiver all over. Liuyun glanced at San Xiaoqiang and said with a smile, "I hope you can't get along with me. The configuration of your 7th class is already sufficient, one more than me, and one less than me is just right. Moreover, my talent is not high, and I am just a procrastinator. It's useless for you to ask me. So please talk to your teacher and kick me out of the team." "Thank you." San Xiaoqiang is confused, and Kakashi is also a black line. "Did you introduce yourself like this?" Liuyun, however, gave Kakashi a proud glance and made you, the bad guy, force me. "I can't kill you. Do you hate being a ninja like this?" At this moment, a voice full of anger came over. Liuyun turned his head and saw Naruto staring at him with blue veins. And Sasuke and Sakura also had a hint of anger in their eyes. In this world, being a ninja is a great and enviable thing. Liuyun is so tired of being a ninja, it is simply insulting their faith. Especially Naruto, he went through so many difficulties to become a ninja. He is very excited about becoming a ninja and cherishes it even more. It's strange that he's not angry when he sees someone who has abandoned the ninja title like this. Liuyun was well aware of all of this and didn't care about Naruto's anger. Instead, he liked Naruto's passion and said with a smile, "Yes, ninjas and the like hate it the most." Damn it. Naruto let out an angry scream and suddenly took out Qimu, shouting sternly, "Stand up. I want to fight you. I want you bastard to know how great a profession ninjas are." Liuyun chuckled, "Hey, hello, is there something wrong with your brain? Why can battles let me know the greatness of ninjas? Your logic doesn't make sense, and battles are really annoying. If you don't like me, then suggest to your teacher to kick me out." Kakashi's face turned black, "This bastard. I dare to use any method to avoid being a ninja. How dare you say it? I want to wake you up. Take the call." Naruto had already lost his sanity with Liuyun Chi, shouting angrily, holding on to Kuwu like Liuyun rushing towards him. However, in the next moment, a shocking scene occurred. The Liuyun sitting on the ground disappeared just as Naruto rushed towards him. Naruto was taken aback for a moment, then suddenly felt a chill in his neck. Subconsciously, Naruto lowered his head and found that at some point, there was a sharp kowu stick attached to his neck. At this moment, a cynical voice came from behind Naruto. "Hey, kid, I asked you to kick me out of the team, but I didn't ask you to fight with me." Chapter 3 Bastard Kakashi. My own students. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Quiet. Except for the gentle breeze, the 36 training ground was silent. Everyone, including Kakashi, was shocked and widened their eyes. San Xiaoqiang is completely dumbfounded. Originally, when Sasuke and Sakura saw that Liuyun was 20 years old, they persevered and looked down on him because he was Kakashi's younger brother. But now their ideas have been completely overturned. They didn't even catch a trace of the movement of Liuyun just now. Is this really the speed of endurance? Haruno Sakura's face was shocked. How could I lose to this guy? The narrow-minded Naruto clearly didn't think about Liuyun's strength, just didn't want to lose to him. Is Xiaoren so strong? Sasuke's eyes darkened as he clenched his fist fiercely. If Xiaoren is so strong, what qualification does he have to challenge that man? But when it comes to the most surprising person, it's Kakashi. He never expected his younger brother to have such speed. The speed just now, let alone the top three, even Kakashi was just barely able to see through. What does this represent? It means that my younger brother's speed is already similar to mine. Kakashi is the most comprehensive ninja, and in terms of physical skills, he is also at the upper ninja level, even at the elite upper ninja level. Isn't that to say that Qimu Liuyun is already comparable in speed and endurance? Liuyun, have you been hiding your strength all along? Kakashi regained his senses and took a deep look at Liuyun, with a hint of guilt in his eyes. He realized that he knew too little about his younger brother, perhaps he didn't care enough about him. Kakashi didn't know that the previous Liuyun was really a scumbag, but just as he carried Liuyun through the market and made Liuyun have the slightest desire to hit Kakashi, the system actually added enhancement points directly to him. Now he has strength of 1001. Speed 1001. Constitution 1001. Spirit 1001. Chakra 1001. Fire attribute 1010. Yes, just in a flash, the 5 basic attributes, plus the fire attribute, all increased by 1000 points. If it weren't for the early discovery of Liuyun, it would probably have added even more. However, Liuyun didn't care either. Strength, apart from battles, is at most just a secret skill of the Hinata family or something else. Blood G may not be able to see it, while others cannot. Adding it will add it. He just doesn't need to do anything. Who can have a free time to see how many chakras you have? But Liuyun really didn't expect Naruto, this one-minded guy, to have such a strong temper and really fight with him. Although he wants to be kicked out of the team, he has no intention of being beaten. Liuyun feels a bit pressured in his heart. Now that his strength has been exposed, it is estimated that his plan to become a commoner has completely fallen through. Calm down and realize that I seem a bit foolish. What I said earlier was clearly a provocation. It's not Naruto's fault for taking action, it's purely my own fault. However, Liuyun still didn't give up and withdrew his frustration. He said angrily to Kakashi, "Hey, bastard Kakashi, look, your student doesn't like me so much. Can you kick me out of the team?" Kakashi has a black line on his head. Is this your attitude when talking to your brother? Damn it. You shut up. I'm fighting with you. Before Kakashi could speak, Naruto, who was single-minded, became angry again, completely forgetting the power gap and punched Liuyun directly. Liuyun looked helpless and gently raised his hand, blocking Naruto's fist. Bastard. I'll definitely hit you this time. Naruto continued his efforts and launched another attack. The result was still obscured by the light description of Liuyun. Next, I saw Naruto shouting and attacking, while Liuyun stood still, one hand helplessly blocking it. No matter what kind of attack it was, Liuyun gently blocked it and then pushed it away slightly. Kakashi's eyes lit up when he saw this scene, while Sasuke and Sakura were once again shocked. Because this is too similar to the 1.1 match between Naruto and Kakashi yesterday. Kakashi was also like that, completely ignoring Naruto's attacks and still holding a book in his hand, carefully watching. Although Liuyun didn't read a book, his sleepless appearance was even less serious than Kakashi. Although Sasuke and Sakura never admit that Naruto is very strong, they know that Naruto still has something in terms of physical skills. Although their behavior is very foolish, if it were the two of them, they would definitely not be able to resist Naruto so calmly. But the flowing clouds are made like Kakashi. Is Liuyun's strength the same as Kakashi's? How could such a person be willing to endure? At this moment, Liuyun suddenly spoke. Hey, little devil, don't use all your strength when attacking, it's easy for someone to catch a loophole. After speaking, Liuyun grabbed Naruto's arm and gently swung it out. Kid, are you really a ninja? Use your brain, okay? Jump up and kick people. Don't you know it's not easy to change positions in the air? As he spoke, Liuyun slightly tilted his head and dodged Naruto's flying kick. He gently pushed Naruto's chest and he immediately flew out. Are you an idiot? Ninjas don't always show their backs to enemies. Didn't jerk Kakashi teach you? Naruto's punch was dodged sideways by Liuyun, and his back was completely illuminated by Liuyun. Liuyun couldn't resist and kicked Naruto in the butt and thigh, kicking him into the mud. Bastard! Don't be so verbose. I must defeat you. Naruto shouted frantically, getting up and continuing to attack. And Liuyun did not change his newly added broken mouth attribute, while dealing with Naruto's attack and talking about his shortcomings. As a result, Kakashi, Sasuke, and Sakura were surprised to find that Naruto's attacks were becoming more and more sophisticated. It's no longer just a strong attack, but rather a strategy. I know how to use my brain to attack. Although still unable to touch the corners of the flowing clouds, this progress is obvious. Kakashi's eyes lit up and he waved his big hand, saying, Sasuke, Sakura, let's go together. Sasuke and Sakura were already full of fighting spirit. They were not the kind of fools like Naruto. They had long seen that Liuyun was teaching Naruto and making rapid progress. They certainly want to receive this kind of education. Especially Sasuke. So as soon as Kakashi finished speaking, the two of them rushed forward and joined the battle group. But Kakashi narrowed his eyes and said with a smile, Liuyun, these students are left to you. After speaking, it instantly turned into a white smoke and disappeared. Nima. Liuyun was dumbfounded, dodging the attacks of the three while shouting, Bastard Kakashi. Come back to me. Teach your own students. Unfortunately, his cry did not receive any response from Kakashi, only receiving even more fierce attacks from the three small powerhouses. At the same time, in the Hokage office, the third-generation Hokage monkey flying Sun Slayer was using the technique of a telescope to watch the scenes at the 36 training ground. Hehe, this kid is really a hidden genius who tricked me. It seems he needs to teach this kid a good lesson. Ape Flying Sun slashed his pipe with a smile in his eyes. Chapter 4 Naruto, Actually, Our Dreams. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Who? In the training ground of 36, heavy breathing sounds continue to flow. Don't think crooked. Those who were panting were Naruto, who had already fallen tired, half sitting on the ground, limp and powerless Sakura Haruno, and Sasuke, who was holding her knees with both hands and sweating profusely. But Liuyun stood in the middle of the three with a helpless expression on his face. Three people surrounded him for more than an hour, and Liuyun truly admired the physical strength of these three people, especially Naruto. This stinky guy doesn't seem to be tired, and it's basically him attacking. Sasuke and Sakura occasionally cooperate and intervene. However, in front of the already strengthened Liuyun, these three people are really like children, slow in speed, light in strength, and not yet well coordinated, with a group of flaws. As a result, these three people became more and more enthusiastic about playing, especially Naruto and Sasuke. Naruto's initial anger had turned into excitement, and Sasuke's strong fighting spirit had turned into joy. Due to the hints from Liuyun, their combat experience has indeed greatly improved, and even their cooperation has become more and more harmonious. Three people attacked until the end, and now Liuyun can use his hands. Yes, I only used my hands and didn't even move my feet. I feel a bit tired playing with Liuyun. In fact, the reason why he gave advice to Naruto is because when he read the original work, he felt that Naruto was too pitiful. During his 12 years of gray childhood, Naruto managed to survive entirely with his strong inner strength. Although there were teachers, teammates, and friends later on, they were useful. Wife Sasuke has turned black and has been denying their marital relationship. If it weren't for Naruto's insistence, the two would have divorced long ago. Anyway, Liuyun really doesn't understand this kind of bondage. If it were him, he would definitely break off ties with Sasuke. Where is Sakura? Her heart was all focused on Sasuke, seemingly caring for Naruto, but in reality, their relationship was just that. If there was something to do, it was just a matter of masturbation. If there was nothing to do, it was Sasuke. As a reliable tea master, she couldn't even see where the bond was. As for the other top players, their relationship with Naruto may seem very close, but it feels distant, as if in the end, Naruto is just a belief, a passionate and never giving up belief. Kakashi goes without saying that those who are biased towards the sky know that teaching Sasuke is completely free range for Naruto and Sakura. Although Liuyun watches Naruto while jumping, in his sense, the entire Naruto anime seems to be alone forever, using his passion to save the ninja world and save everyone. Even Hinata, even Iruka, and even Jirai have not appeared by Naruto's side for too long, and the care given to him is also lacking in the eyes of Liuyun. Perhaps this is a beast negligence, or maybe it's to not procrastinate, or maybe he didn't see everything. That's why, out of pity for Naruto, Liuyun decided to intervene and give this little ghost some warmth. However, when the three small powers united to attack him, he had a new idea. Although Sasuke and Sakura are not very fond of Liuyun, it is the original work. Now that he has traveled to this world and seen these lovely children, why can't he guide them well? Perhaps a different world of Hokage will emerge. It seems like this is a bit more interesting than sleeping and daydreaming, right? Of course, the most important thing is that Liuyun hates chaos. If Liuyun can become a commoner, of course, there is no need to worry so much. But now it seems impossible. The ninja is determined, so we must plan for the future. And the future world of ninja is too restless, he doesn't like it. If Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, and 12 little Chang were to grow up quickly, perhaps Kiba wouldn't have so much to do. In this way, he can enjoy the peaceful days after Naruto makes Hokage. Of course, the old dog in Tuanzang needs to be eliminated. This grandson will never die, and Mu Yi will never be quiet. Therefore, Liuyun decided to stay busy for a few years in order to live a life of salted fish in the coming decades. It's too troublesome to conquer the ninja world alone, and I don't have the brain to do so. Teaching some younger generations to help me fight for a stable ninja world is still possible. After this decision, Liuyun no longer resisted Kakashi's trickery of throwing his students at him and began his teaching journey. However, what's a bit troublesome is that Liuyun doesn't know much about ninjas either. After all, he wears them and is a salted fish with a system that doesn't require cultivation. He really doesn't understand ninjas. It's also quite troublesome to guide. After all, he only has strong attributes and not really has much combat experience, so he can only rely on reading the original work and having more knowledge than them to deceive them blindly. Stop fighting. Liuyun smiled and asked as he saw that even the three little Chungs were weak. You. Are you really holding back? Sasuke gasped and asked incredulously. Liuyun shrugged and said with a smile, it's right to endure, but I didn't say that my strength is also endure. Upon hearing these words, Sasuke felt a little better in his heart. If he had endured so hard, his mentality would have collapsed. After all, the man he wants to kill was already a shadow level before he defected. You bastard. Why do you have such strong strength? But you don't want to be a ninja. Naruto forcefully propped up his upper body, still glaring angrily at Liuyun. However, it was obvious that he no longer had such great resentment. He had known a long time ago that Liuyun was teaching him to fight, and his heart was both grateful and angry, which was very complicated. Liuyun smiled slightly and explained, little ghost, you must remember that everyone has their own dreams, and it is impolite to impose your dreams on others. I don't like being a ninja. I hate being a ninja. It's not to belittle the profession of ninja. It's just contrary to my dream. For example, you like to eat ramen noodles, and you don't like eating rice balls. Can you fight with people because someone says that ramen noodles is the most annoying thing? San Xiaoqiang was taken aback at the words, obviously they had never thought about it. This is two different things. Naruto shouted, this is one thing. I like a peaceful life, want a peaceful life, sleep every day, eat something good, and I am very satisfied. Just like most people like Kiba, they just want a peaceful life. What's wrong with this? Is it true that everyone has to fight and live a bloody life to be considered a good day? Speaking of which, Liuyun suddenly became serious and looked at Naruto, asking, Naruto, your dream is to be a Hokage, right? Are you doing Hokage just to make the whole village live a life of slaughter? Of course not. Naruto quickly jumped up and shouted, if I become Hokage, I will definitely make everyone happy. Speaking of this, Naruto suddenly realized something and looked at Liuyun with a hint of guilt in his eyes. Liuyun smiled and said, look, my dream is the same as yours in terms of outcome. It's just that you're the Hokage and I'm the one you protect, that's all. Naruto lowered his head, and Sasuke and Sakura's eyes also recognized Liuyun, no longer caring about Liuyun's dreams. Cut, your strength is so strong, you need me to protect you. Don't you need face? Naruto's mouth ran away and he rarely lost. Now that he has lost, he reluctantly pursed his lips and muttered softly, but the sound was clearly heard by Liuyun, who walked up and slapped Naruto's head with a chestnut. He said angrily, so you little devils, give me a boost. Quickly improve your strength and protect me. Chapter 5. On Mouth Escape, is Roger the Next Door stronger? You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Upon hearing this, San Xiaoqiang was stunned. Naruto covered his head and looked at Liuyun in confusion, asking, Senior Liuyun, can we really surpass you? There's no way, the impact that Liuyun just gave them was too strong, even more impressive than Kakashi's. After all, Kakashi easily defeated them, although his strength was super strong, he did not give them the feeling of despair like Liuyun. Because Liuyun lives and consumes them. The desperate situation of using all means but having no effect is not simply comparable to being defeated. With a warm smile, Liuyun gave Naruto a headshot and said, of course, you three are actually the three people I most value. Maybe it's a bit difficult for others to surpass me, but you three have the possibility of surpassing me in the short term. I am very optimistic about you. Upon hearing these words, the three of them suddenly brightened up. The smile of Senior Liuyun is so warm. What you said is even more heartwarming. Especially Naruto, this is the first time he has received such a high level of recognition. Especially the warm smile and words made him feel like he could be compared to Teacher Iruka. Really? Senior Liuyun. Do we really have such great potential? Naruto hurriedly asked, seemingly looking forward to Liuyun's deeper recognition. Liuyun gave Naruto a pitiful glance. This child is really suffering. Apart from Iruka, he has not been recognized for so many years. Of course. Naruto, you possess extraordinary physical strength, endurance, physique, and a spirit of never giving up. Although you haven't noticed it yet, these are all treasures that already exist in your body. With just a little guidance, it can be transformed into powerful strength. In this team, you will be the vanguard and the most destructive one in the team. Liuyun's recognition, especially such a high level of recognition, made Naruto immediately excited, with a hint of mist in his excitement. He never expected that one day, he would be so optimistic. Later, Liuyun turned his head to look at Sasuke, who suddenly felt refreshed. He was eager to know Liuyun's evaluation of him. Sasuke, you possess strong observation, insight, and the ability to make immediate judgments in battles. Although you may not be as good as Naruto in terms of physique and chakra ability, you possess a combat mind that surpasses his. If Naruto is the vanguard of fierce attacks, you are the assassin who determines the life and death of the enemy. Your talent is extremely high, and you are also the most suitable ninja among the three. Remember, the reason why the Uchiha family is powerful is not only because of their eyes, but also because they are a group of demons with strong combat minds. You and Naruto have a different path to follow. In future battles, you need to use your own brain, identify the opponent's weaknesses, and play with the enemy in applause. This is your path. And if you cooperate with Naruto, you will be invincible. Yes. Sasuke exclaimed excitedly. He didn't expect that Liuyun would directly point through his future path. And he had a premonition that this road was the most suitable for him. However, Sasuke didn't know that this road was suitable for the early stage. To be precise, this road belonged to Uchiha Itachi. In the middle and later stages, Sasuke, like Naruto, was brainless and had to drive and crush all the way, at most calmer than Naruto. Xiaoying. Liuyun turned his head to look at Xiaoying again. Xiaoying's spirit lifted and she looked eagerly at Liuyun. Sakura, you are the one with the most precise chakra control among the three people. To be honest, I have never seen a ninja with more chakra control talent than you, and you are very intelligent. You are a genius who makes medical ninjas. At the same time, your intelligence can also be used in the team's strategic planning. Sasuke is the brain during battles, while you are the brain in the early stages and after battles. Naruto is a forward, Sasuke is an assassin, and you are the commander and life support of the three. Therefore, for your combat training, I would suggest that after being suppressed by the bastard Kakashi, your task is to learn medical ninjutsu and read more strategic and tactical books. Yes. Thank you, senior. Sakura exclaimed happily. In fact, Sakura's family knows about her own affairs. She is very aware that her combat strength is very poor, even Naruto is impressive in this battle. However, when she faces Liuyun, she seems to be a passerby. This made her very uncomfortable and disappointed, but Liuyun's words made her suddenly understand the direction of her progress. Let her understand that she also plays a huge role in this team. Liuyun smiled lightly, feeling a sense of helplessness in her heart. Little Sakura's true strength can only be demonstrated when Gangso returns. Neither herself nor Kakashi has the ability to teach her, so she can only wait for a while. Moreover, Sakura still has a love brain, which is quite troublesome. Fortunately, she is still young and her love brain is still in the growth stage. Now let's strangle her first, and her future achievements should be higher. Speaking of which, does Sakura seem to be a type of illusion? How about finding a way in this area? But it seems that this point hasn't developed in the original work, how can we teach it? Well, forget it, let's talk about it later. Alright, let's not worry about these strength-related things for now. I've been fighting all morning and I'm hungry. Let's go, I'll treat you to something to eat. Liuyun clapped his hands and said with a smile, good. Naruto shouted happily, I want to eat ramen noodles. Liuyun suddenly has a black line. You are really the little prince of ramen noodles. Ramen noodles, you devil. I want to eat meat. In the afternoon, the Huiying office, located in the most important part of this my village, was only 5 people present. Well. 5 people were visible on the surface. Fake benevolence and righteousness, the old monkey, the golden monkey, the wife of fate, the wild monkey, and the tea master, the pink monkey. And, the Grand Marshal surpasses Qimu Liuyun. But in the face of this beloved member of the group, the famous hypocritical master ape flying sun slaying, Qimu Liuyun had no intention of observing. Because he really wants to die now. He went bankrupt. Can you imagine this scene? I deliberately ran home to retrieve all my assets from my memory, and then went to the barbecue restaurant to treat. However, when I checked out, I found that I had run out of money. This is outrageous. At least brother is also someone who can afford to open a grocery store. To be honest, he's also a boss. Can you believe that one meal of grilled meat would bankrupt you? If it weren't for wanting to live a peaceful life with Kiba, at the moment of checkout, he really wanted to help pain and let Kiba feel the pain in advance. Have you never seen any money, have you? Is barbecue so expensive? 5,000 taels exactly. That's all for a meal. What is the price of garbage for this wood leaf? How do I remember when Naruto ate the entire snack street for 300 taels? By the way, should I move house? Or strengthen a giant fireball, blow up the wooden leaves, and reposition the prices? Hehe, Liuyun, what's going on? Are you still angry with Kakashi? Monkey Flying Sun / didn't know that Liuyun had already planned to betray the will of fire because of money, and was still pretending to be kind and smiling. Naruto, who was carefree, was completely confused and couldn't understand why Senior Liuyun was unhappy after leaving the barbecue restaurant. On the other hand, Urju and Sakura understood, with a slight curve exposed in one pair of pants, and a second character laughing heartily in their heart. Liuyun didn't have time to ponder these 3 little ghosts, so he gave the old monkey a big white eye and said with hatred, "Old man, there's also your credit in this." He doesn't care about any attitude, and in his memory, he was really so impolite towards the monkey flying sun / He often visits the grocery store after it opens. Well. There is a beautiful landlady at the vegetable shop next to the Liuyun grocery store. You taste, you savor. And whether this old man can be considered a good person or a bad person, at least Liuyun was not seen in the original work. It was all analyzed, judged, and summarized by some great experts. Anyway, whether in the true memory of Liuyun or the memory obtained through system intervention, this old monkey is still a good person, except for a bit of LSP. So just being defensive is enough, there's no need to worry so much, and besides, this old monkey doesn't have the right to make Liuyun, who has the system, worry. The strongest Hokage, hehe, everyone understands. Ahem. Ape Flying Sun / faced the resentful flowing cloud and awkwardly smiled, Kakashi is your older brother. Of course, I need to consider his suggestion. Alright, it's already like this. Who else can I blame? I can't even be a ninja now, can I? Hehehe, I really want to thank Kakashi, otherwise I wouldn't know your true face as a stinky kid. Liuyun pursed his lips and impatiently said, alright, come on, quickly take out the task, I'll pick it up. Lack of money. Feeling the terror of poverty, Liuyun felt like he had another motivation to become a ninja. Only the 4 of you. Where's Kakashi? Asked Monkey Flying Sun curiously, knowing it, right? Do you think jerk Kakashi still dares to appear in front of me? He held me as a ninja and even threw all his students at me. I don't know where to hold on to a cozy paradise and gnaw on them now. Talking about Kakashi, Liuyun is so infuriated. Cough. The Monkey Flying Sun / was not a deliberate question, but it also understood Kakashi's thoughts and immediately stopped talking nonsense, putting the task list on the table. Naruto couldn't wait any longer and immediately ran up, but as he swept up and down, his face suddenly became uncomfortable. Ha! Third generation grandpa. Why are all D.level tasks? I won't do them. I'm the future Hokage. I want to do S.level tasks. Naruto, you're just holding back, and the three of you have just graduated, so you can only do D.level tasks. Even if it's Liuyun, you can only do C.level tasks, said Monkey Flying Sun with a flick of his lips, suppressing MMP's impulse in his heart. Naruto pouted and was about to express his dissatisfaction when Liuyun walked up, grabbed Naruto's collar, and threw it out like carrying a little chicken. On the side, little brat dares to think. After speaking, I glanced at the task list. Special. How can I break through if I really want to defect? The D.level task of Chingy Water is either to find cats and dogs, or to clean household chores, weed and cultivate fields. Surprisingly, there is no task to drive away monkeys. I killed 3 generations, does it count as completing the mission? That's okay, give me more money. Starting at 5,000 yuan and reaching the top of 10,000 yuan is what the hell is that? Isn't it true that D.level tasks have a ceiling of 50,000? 10,000, it's still before tax. After paying the tax, if we divide it among 4 people, one person will only have over 2,000 taels, which is not enough to eat a meal of meat. Could it be that my friends will eat ramen noodles in the future? Liuyun suddenly understood the financial obsession of Jiaodu. Shouldn't you also become a bounty hunter, buddy? Forget it, the representative character is too ugly. Although I am very dissatisfied, Liuyun did not talk nonsense like Naruto. He gave me a little less, but I can take a walk. Isn't it a waste to not use these 3 good tools? I've taken this. All. Liuyun's fingers flew and took on 8 tasks at once. With just one operation, both the Monkey Flying Sun / and the 3 little Chongs were given to Xiumeng. Can the mission still be accepted like this? Liuyun, it's not in line with the rules to take on so many things at once. Then you can make me a commoner, or call the bastard Kakashi for me, and I will follow the rules. Apes fly and the sun slay, instantly retreating. But can you handle the task like this? Liuyun shrugged and said without any worries, what can't be done? I didn't just take on the task blindly, didn't I have time? I completed it today, within 2 days, within 3 days. Just finish it all within 3 days. Time is too tight, isn't it? Ape Flying Sun / was a bit worried. Although it was a D.level mission, playing like this was a bit intense. Upon hearing this, Liuyun turned around and looked at the 3 little Chongs in the circle with an impassioned expression, saying, little ghosts. Do you want to become stronger? Do you want to complete other tasks that you can't bear to complete? If you want, show the old man a stance. Naruto and Sasuke, the couple, immediately became passionate, and even Sakura was driven by Liuyun's enthusiasm and shouted in unison, I think. We can definitely do it. Liuyun snapped his fingers with satisfaction, pointed to the door, and shouted, let's go. Yes. 3 passionate little Chongs walked out of the office with their heads held high. That energy seems to be about to accomplish something extraordinary. Shio's Monkey Flying Sun / his face covered in circles, and his pipe fell to the ground. This stinky kid didn't say anything, why did he suddenly become so passionate? Let's go, old man. Turn around and hand over the task scroll to the bastard Kakashi. Liuyun had a sinister smile at the corner of his mouth. Indeed, when it comes to mouth evasion, Roger next door is stronger. He is truly the king who opened an era with just one sentence, even Naruto is not easy to use. Chapter 6. How did you guys get down like this? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Hello. Idiot golden hair little ghost. Are you stupid? You ate the multiple shadow clones. Why don't you use shadow clones to weed? Don't know if you're in a hurry. Give me 1,000 clones. Solve it in an instant. It's taking up time, kill you. Ah. Bastard senior. Don't call me the golden hair little ghost. Also, there are 1,000 clones. Are you going to kill me? That red-eyed little devil. Do you want to smear your family so much? Just now, the golden-haired little devil has already blocked the fat cat in a dead corner. Why are you 1.25 seconds slow? Don't you know if you're in a hurry? Every second counts. Do you understand? You can't seize the opportunity for such a long time, why don't you just cut out your eyes? Damn it. Don't say it so easily. Do you think I'm you? I haven't opened my eyes yet. Where did you get red-eye disease? Pink flower idiot kid. Is your brain only capable of soaking men? How did you develop a strategic plan? For monkeys, did you let the red-eyed kid catch him alone? Did the golden hair kid get eaten by you? Take 1,000 clones, block these stinky monkeys, and let the red-eyed kid fill in the gaps. Can't such a simple plan be done? Yes. I'm sorry, senior. Second personality. Damn you, senior. I just like to make Sasuke behave well. I just ignore Naruto. You bite me. For 3 consecutive days, such friendly communication frequently took place between the big and small groups, and due to the scrutinizing supervision of Liuyun, the 3 strong groups achieved an astonishing milestone. I completed 8D.level tasks in 3 days. Pop it. In a small restaurant in my village, Naruto lay exhausted and collapsed on the table, with his eyes almost bulging out of black circles. I can't do it anymore, I'm going to be exhausted. Don't disturb me, I need to sleep. Zhu and Xiaoying were much more reserved and didn't complain much, because they were already exhausted. Naruto was so tired, as you can imagine. Lying motionless on the dining table. It's just that Liuyun has been flaunting his skin this week, and now he's bubbling up beautifully, with the mission benefits from the past 3 days in his hand. 10,000. 20,000. 30,000. 40,000. 60,000. Hahaha. Not bad. Lucky. You 3 stinky little brats are still very useful. Stare at seeing San Xiaoqiang's resentful gaze, even the thick-skinned Liuyun couldn't help but cough twice and said, in recognition of your achievements, I'll treat you to lunch today. Have a big meal. Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura. Disdainful of ing. This rundown restaurant doesn't cost 100 taels per meal. What do you mean, 2? Senior, it seems like we also have a share of these rewards, right? Sakura asked weakly, hello, you 3 little devils, don't be ignorant of kindness. I'm helping you become stronger, okay? This will be treated as tuition fees. Liuyun said as he casually put the money into his pocket. Complaint Max stares at cough. Liuyun felt awkward again, bullying the child like this seemed a bit excessive. What's that? With this money, you don't need to complete any tasks for now. No big deal, starting from tomorrow, how about I help you train and make you stronger? Really? Naruto and Sasuke, who were hanging on the wall, were instantly relieved and looked at Liuyun with a bright expression. Liuyun was very satisfied with the effect and nodded with a smile, of course, it's just right. My grocery store has also been renovated. Starting today, you can stay at the grocery store for training. Xiaoying, you can talk to your parents later. Really? Sakura didn't feel sleepy in an instant. Even eyes can emit light. Second personality. Great. Finally, I can live with Sasuke. Did I become a married couple? It must be. It must be. Liuyun is very smelly now, Kid, it's really so easy to handle. As early as 3 days ago, Liuyun had already started renovating his grocery store. The grocery store that had been modified by this system was not very profitable, and Liuyun was not suitable for business. Even if he became a ninja, he didn't have time to manage it. It would be better to close it. Of course, it's also to retaliate against the third-generation old man, so that he has no excuse to continue colluding with the neighboring landlady. Since he has made up his mind to teach the three little Changs well, Liuyun has also made some proper arrangements. In order to deepen their bonds and understanding, the grocery store was built into a small hotel. This place was originally bought and the area was not small. In addition to the kitchen, backyard, and toilet, about 20 rooms could also be renovated. Having Sangxiaoqiang live inside and interact with each other day and night is bound to have deeper emotions than the original work. As for whether he can come and stay, Liuyun has never worried at all. Naruto and Sasuke's family have long been empty, and they have freedom of movement. In order to become stronger, they will definitely be willing. Little Sakura, this flower lover, is even more so. As long as she can live with Sasuke, you can make her cultivate and become a jade seeker with ease. Of course, the most important thing is whether Tuanzang Old Dog and Sandai are willing to let Naruto and Sasuke, two sensitive young men, break free from control. However, Liuyun didn't really care. At the beginning of the plot, Tuanzang remained invisible, and the third generation continued to act as kind-hearted people. From this point of view, their attention to these two hanging walls has sharply decreased. Since they haven't left the village, these two old dogs haven't jumped out yet. Of course, if they do, Liuyun won't be afraid either. Hey! Senior, didn't you run out of money before? What kind of money did you use for decoration? Xiaoying suddenly asked curiously. Liuyun looked dissatisfied and said, "Of course it's your bastard teacher Kakashi. 3 days ago, he came to deliver the task scroll, and finally caught him. Can you make him leave so easily? Throw you 3 little ghosts to me, be the teacher who shook hands, he won't break some money, can I spare him?" Naruto and Sakura suddenly burst into laughter, even Sasuke's pants curled up at the corners of their mouths. It was only then that they remembered the stinky face 3 days ago when they saw teacher Kakashi leave. Hey! Naruto idiot! Why are you all here too? At this moment, a loud voice came from the entrance of the restaurant. Liuyun and others turned their heads and saw that there were actually 4 acquaintances. The evening sun is red, the sun is heading towards the fields, the dog mound is full of teeth, and the oil girl is determined. The sound just now was clearly made by Inazukaya, and he was the only one with such a loud voice. Hinata's face turned red when she saw Naruto, and she transformed into a steam queen. As a representative figure of zero presence, Yoshinori is on the brink of OB. On the contrary, Shirihong is quite eye-catching, and its appearance is indeed quite durable. As a representative character of the female lead in many fan fiction novels, it is still very reasonable. Oh! Red sister, come on, sit here, share a table, I can save another meal. Liuyun waved and patted the table to welcome the injustice. After giving Liuyun a beautiful white eye and infringing on her own students, Shirihong led them to sit opposite Liuyun and others. You brat, as for being so stingy. You snatched all D.level tasks, leaving us with no tasks to do. You should have earned a lot, right? Do you still want to eat me? A female heroine blushes and angrily confronts a little white face on the internet. Although I don't know if Asma and Hong are familiar with Kakashi in the anime, they are very good friends in Liuyun's memory. As Kakashi's younger brother, Liuyun naturally knows them all, and Zirihong often visits his small shop with the licking dog Asma. So Zirihong is very familiar with Liuyun, and it's common to scold him. Of course, that's why Zirihong is here with him, completely passing. He just wants to ask those seniors who have traveled through time, how can you speak up about such a female man? Just ignore everything for your true appearance, right? Chapter 7. Heroes, read at night. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. In other Hokage worlds, Liuyun doesn't know, but here, this hero is really difficult to conquer. Do you know what Zirihong looks like after getting drunk? Do you know that she punches more drunk than Lilac? Do you know that she has never lost in rowing? Do you know that these girls have a strong taste for mustard octopus? I'll add 2 more cloves of garlic to her, and if you can't bear it, go ahead and say it. For this kind of man who likes to drink excessively, loves domestic violence, plays games without giving him a sense of achievement, and even needs to brush his teeth before a kiss, Liuyun said that he really can't be a wife. Moreover, as a fake fan who jumps to watch Hokage, Liuyun really doesn't know what kind of relationship Zirihong and Asma are now. If that rebellious official second generation and this carefree female man have already broken through something, as a time traveler, he still doesn't want to embarrass everyone. Of course, after Asma hung up, he kicked a widow's door or something. Liuyun said he could still think about it, and it seemed like he had a big belly at that time. Cough. I can't think anymore, I'm only thinking 404. In fact, these are not the most important things. The most important thing is that Liuyun himself has ideals. After realizing that he had to become a ninja and was very short of money, he established his wife's goal. It must be our popular lover Xiao Nan. Well. Let's not talk about appearance, the most important thing is the 600 billion yuan explosive talisman. A reliable rich woman. Don't worry about how these 600 billion yuan explosive symbols came from, can they sell for money? What if they can? You always have dreams. The biggest issue is age. It seems like I was already 35 years old when I appeared, but it doesn't matter. As a young man, what qualifications do you have to choose age for? So now seeing the beauty of Zirihong in the prosperous era, Liuyun said that he is a calm group. I said Red Sister, don't slander me. I have only taken on 8 tasks in total, and there are plenty of D.level tasks. You don't want to treat me and make excuses here, do you? Pa. Zirihong slapped the table and cursed angrily, you stinky kid. Am I that kind of person? Are you guys eating less of me? I'll go. You scared me. Liuyun patted his heart and looked at it. With this temper, who dares to take it? Zirihongjiao snorted and raised her hand, saying, someone, the menu. I'll treat you to whatever you want to eat today. The waiter came immediately to order, and under the bold order of Zirihong, her 3 disciples looked speechless. Inazukaya was still so carefree, grinning and asking, Senior, your ability to eat free food is too strong. You deceived Teacher Hong in just a few words. How about teaching me? Bang. Ow. Woo woof. The chestnut trees turned red on the evening sun, Inazukaya covered his head and shouted loudly, Akamaru's incompetence roared loudly, and a scene of male silence and female tears appeared in front of Liuyun and others. Yeah, your ability to seek death is also quite strong. You should have less contact with our Naruto in the future. He is already very good at seeking death, so don't bring him any worse. Liuyun smiled and drank tea, saying, Hey. Senior, why are you just talking about me? Where are Sasuke and Sakura? Naruto looked confused. They both have brains, said Liuyun, with a look that you don't have any sense of coercion, ha. Naruto became even more confused. As a result, when she saw Sasuke chuckling and Sakura giggling, she suddenly understood. Her veins were bulging, and she bared her arms and rolled her sleeves, shouting, Bastard senior. I want to fight you alone. A single fart, dare to explode with the senior, go out and punish the station. Without a word, Liuyun picked up Naruto's collar and threw it out the window with a whoosh. Bang. Ah. Hahaha, idiot Naruto. You. Hey. Inazukaya was gloating at his misfortune when he suddenly saw a hand grab onto his collar and rise up with a bewildered expression on his face. Laugh nonsense. My students dare to say it too. You also go out and get punished. Canine mound teeth turned into gray meteors and flew out the window. Bang. Ah. Woo woof. Liuyun squinted his eyes and looked at the incompetent and roaring Akamaru. He asked with a threatening tone, "Oh, dog, do you also plan to go out and punish him?" Woo Akamaru suddenly hesitated, turned around, and ran out of the restaurant to send warmth to his owner. Liuyun nodded and smiled with satisfaction, but did not notice that while he was educating his younger brother, the red eyes of Yuri, the sharp eyes of Sasuke, and the dark sunglasses of oil girl Jina all lit up in that moment. When throwing Naruto, it's not a big deal, but Inazukaya was crossing a table with Liuyun at that time, and there was still some distance. When Liuyun made a move, not a single person, including Shirihong, caught a trace. How fast? Of course, there are still two people who haven't thought about it, one is Sakura and the other is Hinata. Xiao Ying has become accustomed to it, and in the past few days she has seen Liuyun take action to educate the two Xiaoqiang. Hinata was naturally full of Naruto, and when she saw Naruto being thrown out, her heart was hanging. She wanted to go out but felt shy and conflicted. Shirihong held her cheek with one hand and scrutinized Liuyun, smiling, "Although I knew you had hidden your strength, I didn't know that your current strength is so strong, comparable to Kakashi, right?" 3 days ago, the story of Liuyun concealing his strength had already spread throughout the upper ninja circle, and it was deliberately done by Kakashi and the 3 generations of old men. Liuyun, who saves money, always wants to give up when he has nothing to do. Come on, even though that bastard Kakashi doesn't do anything, his strength is still good, but I should be better than him in teaching students. With Kakashi's biased teaching method, Liuyun's chaotic teaching has left him for 8 streets. Oh. So you taught these 3 little guys well. Yuriko scrutinized Sasuke and Sakura who were still sitting in their seats. Sasuke and Sakura held their heads high and their chests high. Although their seniors looked unreliable, they found that they had really improved after the 3-day mission. This is also why they were scolded by Liuyun, and despite being tired of high-pressure tasks, they were able to persevere. What's wrong with Miss Hong? Do you want to practice? Liuyun saw the meaning of Shirihong. Shirihong shrugged and said, "Anyway, it's okay this afternoon. Let the 6 little ones give it a try. I'll see if you can really take over Kakashi, you stinky kid." Liuyun understood, and he said it was just a coincidence. Shirihong and his group are all wealthy people, and they don't usually come to such cheap restaurants. It turns out they are trying themselves out. It goes without saying that either the 3rd generation or the jerk Kakashi, there must be a mastermind between these two. Turning her eyes, she came up with a plan and said, "Okay, but what's the point of having children play? Red sister, why don't you play with the 3 of them? If you lose, how about giving us a monthly meal?" Hey! Shirihong was a bit confused and asked in surprise, "Fight with me? Are you serious?" Sasuke, Sakura, and the newly arrived Naruto who was patting the soil were all dumbfounded, with a look on their face that you were teasing me. This is the upper tolerance. Can we get through it? Liuyun sneered and said, "Hee, I'm sure you're not supposed to use all your strength. You can only use physical skills, how about that?" Shirihong thought it was a little reasonable, but she was still very surprised. She glanced at the 3 Xiaoqiang. Could these 3 children have made such great progress in only 3 days? Okay. Deal. Yes. I have the meal ticket. Chapter 8. Shirihong. I was watched by a little girl. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After dinner, at the 36 training ground, Shirihong and San Xiaoqiang stood on both sides of the grass to confront each other. Liuyun stood on the side with the 3 little strong students from class 8. As he was about to start fighting, Inuzuka vented his dissatisfaction from noon on. He curled his lips and said disdainfully, "Cut, in 3 days, how could you possibly beat Red Teacher? These 3 guys must have been abused." "Yeah, don't say that, Naruto Jun and his team are still very powerful. Popular Luoli Chutian still supports Naruto as always. Teeth, it's best to observe carefully. If Teacher Hong only uses physical techniques, it's only at the level of moderate tolerance or above. Although I haven't seen the abilities of the senior, the rumors should be true. The senior's actions should have a certain level of confidence." Little transparent oil girl Ji said once in a while. Inuzuka pursed his lips, still looking disdainful. However, both teammates said so, and he didn't have a strong determination. Of course, it was mainly because Liuyun was beside him, and he was afraid of being beaten. Oh. Jinai's perspective is quite unique, his analytical ability is good. Liuyun smiled and hugged his arms, admiring him. Jinai, this little transparent person, clearly did not expect that Liuyun not only knew his name, but also noticed and recognized him. His calm little face showed a hint of excitement. "Senior, do you really think Naruto Jun and his team have the ability to pose a threat to Teacher Hong?" Perhaps it was recognized, and Shino couldn't wait to show off his presence. Liuyun shook his head and smiled, "Don't underestimate Hongjia too much. Although she is known for her illusory skills, her physical skills are also at a special level of endurance. Naruto and his team still have a high difficulty in posing a threat to Hongjia. However, Naruto and his team are not as simple as you think. Do you really think D.level tasks are that simple? Observe carefully, and you can also benefit a lot from doing tasks in the future." Gina nodded seriously, as if lost in thought. "As for the other 2, I didn't think too much about them." "Hey! Have you seen enough? Aren't you afraid to come up?" Shirihong thrust into her waist and shouted in a bored voice. "Damn it!" Naruto angrily waved his fist, but surprisingly, he didn't rush forward directly out of anger. Instead, he looked at Sakura and asked, "Sakura, how do you fight?" Sasuke didn't take any action, his sharp eyes fixed on Sakura. Sakura, contrary to her usual behavior, did not cheer for Sasuke's gaze. After holding her chin and pondering for a while, she said, "We currently have too little physical intelligence about Teacher Hong. I have come up with many plans, but there is no chance of winning. What we can do now is to follow our normal course of action and gather intelligence first." "Understood." Naruto grinned and flexed his fists, clenching them with a loud, creaking sound. The technique of multiple shadow clones. Naruto instantly sealed, and 20 clones appeared around. Shirihong's eyes froze. Due to Naruto's extensive use of clones in the past 2 days, Naruto has mastered multiple shadow clones, which is no longer like the original work. Not many people knew about it in the early stages, so Shirihong was not surprised. Up! Naruto let out a loud shout, along with himself and 20.1 Naruto, charging straight towards the red night sun. Surround Shirihong from all directions, use both hands and feet, and strike indiscriminately. Although Shirihong's physical skills are not as good as those of Kakashi, they are not something Naruto can withstand. In addition, she does not have the same bad taste as Kakashi and Liuyun, so she is quite serious in dealing with them. At the very least, he used his hands to easily block Naruto's fists and feet. Although it was easy to deal with, the more she resisted, the more she felt something was wrong. Naruto's attack seemed chaotic, but it was very organized, completely blocking herself in place. So far, she has hardly moved, not unwilling to move, but unable to move. Naruto surprisingly blocked all her evasive routes, forcing her to use her hands to resist. Has this child grown up to this point? Shirihong was secretly surprised and her expression became slightly serious. At this moment, she suddenly noticed a dark corner, and a black figure with no pain appeared, grabbing the tiny flaw she had revealed in an instant and wiping her throat. Ding! The sound of metal collision rang out. Shirihong quickly pulled out Kowu and blocked the throat-cutting blow. Sasuke. Yuriko only then saw the true face of the black figure. Before she could retaliate, Sasuke suddenly stepped back, and Naruto's clone behind him seamlessly connected. The tacit cooperation is like a person. Shirihong's pursuit failed, and she could only tire of resisting Naruto's attack. But the number of people is really too many. Although one blow can explode one, it can't resist Naruto's unlimited moves behind. Sasuke, on the other hand, mingled among the crowd, constantly catching a loophole and giving Yuriko a thrilling moment. For a moment, Shirihong surprisingly showed signs of decline. This scared the three little bullies, Inazukaya. How could this be possible? Surprisingly, Teacher Hong fell behind. Naruto Jun, how amazing. Although their strength was not strong, their eyesight was good. They immediately saw the passivity of Shirihong, and even saw the sweat flowing down her forehead. The three of them coincidentally looked at Liuyun, with surprise and confusion in their eyes, but more admiration and admiration. Naruto and his team have actually improved so much in 3 days, it must be the credit of Liuyun. Liuyun noticed the eyes of the three of them and smiled as he pointed to the other side of the battlefield, saying, "Keep watching, there's a good show coming." The three of them quickly looked over and saw that Shirihong had killed a clone. After obtaining a slight gap, they immediately jumped up and planned to leave the encirclement. Just as he took off, a cold voice sounded. "Fire escape, the art of the giant fireball." Heo Wokyu unexpectedly arrived in front of Shirihong in an instant, as if he had already known that Shirihong would take off. Shirihong was greatly surprised, but fortunately, she reacted quickly and forcefully twisted her body in the air, brushing past Heo Wokyu. However, it also caused a rapid fall and did not leave Naruto's encirclement far. After landing, a group of Naruto had already rushed forward, still seamlessly connected, almost forming an encirclement once again. Shirihong exclaimed in her heart, "These two little guys are so compatible." This kind of cooperation may not be available in typical Chinese ninja teams that have been cooperating for many years. But just then, a delicate voice sounded. "Sasuke, Naruto, come back." It's Sakura's voice. At the moment when the sound sounded, Naruto and Sasuke did not hesitate at all, and gave up their small advantage in an instant. They quickly retreated and came to Sakura's side. What a strong decision. What a tacit trust. Faced with a small advantage, I was unexpectedly given up by Sakura with just one word. It seems that although Sakura didn't take action, she couldn't ignore it at all. Shiri's red eyes once again praised. But this time, Shirihong didn't wait anymore. She was already serious and wanted to know where the upper limit was for these three little guys. Almost as they retreated, Shirihong rushed forward without giving them any breathing time. But Shirihong once again miscalculated. At the moment when Naruto and Sasuke returned to Sakura's side, the three of them tacitly retreated together, distancing themselves from Yuriko. Although Shirihong's speed is faster than theirs, he is not a ninja skilled in physical arts, and he has been separated from them, so he can't catch up for a while. At this moment, Xiao Ying's voice rang out. Just now, Teacher Hong forcefully twisted her body, and her left rib muscle should have been damaged. After landing, there was a slight deformation in her left movement. Naruto, she separated a large number of clones to surround and focus on, increasing Teacher Hong's physical burden. Sasuke, don't use Huichyo anymore. Save chakra. With Red Teacher's physical skills, we need to attack for a long time. Wasting chakra will lead to rapid physical exhaustion. Xiaoying spoke quickly, finishing in less than a few seconds, and finally adding a left-hand motion to wipe her neck, as if signaling to start moving. Understood. Naruto immediately stopped and Jin shouted, the technique of multiple shadow clones. Bang bang. Hundreds of clones appeared instantly. Xiaoying didn't deliberately lower her volume, so Zirihong heard it very clearly. That's why she was even more shocked. How could Xiaoying have such insight? And surprisingly, she was the commander of this team, which was something she never expected. Commander-in-Chief. Alright, then I'll take care of you as the commander first. Zirihong made up her mind and decided to take down Xiaoying first. But just as her thoughts arose, a sentence from Sakura instantly made her confused. Naruto. Use a clone to block the sky, red teacher will attack me first. Zirihong. Did a little girl see through me? Chapter 9. This is the ninja. Seeking flowers, seeking. You are listening at novelfull.audio. I got it. Naruto stood on a tree branch, his hands imprinted, the art of multiple shadow clones. Bang bang. With a few sounds, the 5 clones appeared in mid-air, blocking the path that had already jumped into mid-air, Yuriko. What a fast cooperation speed. Zirihong looked at the 5 Naruto shouting in front of her and was surprised. As a ninja, it is already instinctive to combine knowledge and action, in action. Just as she was about to kill Sakura, she jumped up and almost instantly reminded her. Although the reminder was not slow and intended to be seen through, it was impossible for the newly formed Nishin team to stop her without perfect understanding. When Naruto responds, she should have already arrived in front of Sakura. But now it seems that even though she has overestimated the level of understanding of Class 7 due to her previous cooperation, she still has to admit that she underestimated the other party. It seems that Liuyun is quite skilled, but he's still too young to stop me. Shiri's red lips outline a beautiful curve, and I have already recognized the growth and ability of the 7th class in my heart. However, upper ninja is upper ninja, even if it only uses body techniques that are not good at, it is not something that lower ninja can resist. Bang bang bang. In mid-air, with several sharp attacks from Yuriko, 3 Narutos were instantly defeated. With the help of the remaining 2 Narutos, they not only managed to escape the opponent's attack but also rushed toward Sakura at a faster speed. Xiaoying seemed to have anticipated it long ago, retreating rapidly and constantly changing her position along the way, using the trunk to block her figure. Oh, my consciousness is good, but it's over. Zirihong gave a approving smile, but her speed was not something that Sakura could match. After landing, she took 2 swift steps and came behind Sakura, struggling to hold on to her neck. Hey, Liuyun, is it still necessary to compete? Zirihong looked at the flag trees and flowing clouds outside the forest. Winning. Hahaha. I knew it. How could they possibly defeat Teacher Hong? Woo woof. Inazukaya raised his arms and shouted with excitement on his face, followed by Akamaru with no shame. Naruto Jun. Hinata's expression was somewhat disappointed, as she looked at Naruto on the branch with concern, afraid that the other person would feel uncomfortable. The temperament of the leaky little cotton jacket was undoubtedly revealed. On the contrary, it was the edge OB expert Yunujina who pushed her small sunglasses, emitting a bright light. Her eyebrows tightened and she looked up at Qimu Liuyun beside her. Sigh. Miss Hong, how much she wants to be my long-term meal ticket. Liuyun embraced her hands and shook her head helplessly. Upon hearing this, San Shao was startled and looked at Liuyun in surprise, as if realizing something. He quickly turned back. At the same time, in the forest, Zirihong saw the movement of Liuyun shaking her head from afar, her mind clouded, and then the alarm rang loudly, looking in horror at Xiaoying in front of her. Pada, I saw Xiaoying tightly gripping Zirihong's arms with both hands, turning back and grinning, making a voice that didn't belong to her. Hee, Teacher Hong, I've caught you. On the evening, the red pupil's contract. Bang, Sakura has turned into Naruto. Naruto. No. Shadow clone. When? Fire escape, the art of the giant fireball. Almost simultaneously, Sasuke's cold voice rang out. A huge fireball almost came out against my face. His arm was caught, and the fireball pressed against his face, giving Shirihong almost no time to break free and escape. Shirihong could only give a bitter smile. After breaking free from Naruto, a stunt double disappeared, making Hao Huichou's unbeatable record +1. Hahaha. We won. Sakura. Sasuke. We won against Teacher Hong. Naruto stood on a tree, dancing excitedly, feeling as if he had won the world. Idiot. Sasuke put his hands in his pockets and walked out of the grass, cursing but with a hint of a smile on his lips. What? Idiot Sasuke. What are you saying? Naruto suddenly became angry, jumped off the tree, and rushed to Sasuke with big eyes and small eyes. All right. Shirihong walked out of the grass and laughed boldly, not bad. You're all good. It seems like Liuyun. Where's Xiaoying? At this moment, Yuriko suddenly saw Naruto and Sasuke, who had just been staring at her with big eyes and small eyes, looking at her with a cunning smile. Shirihong was taken aback for a moment, and then she felt something sharp pressing against her back. Sakura's voice followed suit. Teacher Hong, the competition is not over yet. You are too careless. As Shirihong turned her head, her pupils narrowed like pinholes, and her face was filled with emotion, as if she had thought a lot but couldn't figure out much. At this moment, Liuyun had already walked over with 3 little ones and a dog, and saw the scene of Xiaoying struggling without any resentment. Xiaoying, what are you doing? Didn't you already win? Are you humiliating Teacher Hong? Woo woof. The brainless Inazukaya was furious. He had already been holding his breath after losing, but now he saw such a scene. How could he resist it? Kamaru goes without saying, the number 1 dog following the trend. Hinata looked anxiously at both sides, unsure of who to speak for. On the contrary, Yunuji pushed her glasses and calmly said, yeah, don't get excited. This is not a shame. Ha. Shina. Where are you from? Inazukaya exclaimed discontentedly, alright teeth. Shirihong glanced at Inuzuka's teeth and looked at Naruto and his companions with approval. She nodded and smiled, this is not humiliation, this is the ninja. Inuzuka's teeth were shrouded in confusion as he looked at Yuri Hong and asked, Teacher Hong, have you been angry and foolish? Fool. Shirihong cursed angrily, feeling so tired in her heart. How did Liuyun teach this kid? Naruto and Ye used to have the same level of brain, why is there so much difference now? Should I take scriptures? Yeah, you have to remember that ninjas must ensure completion of tasks, but every task, intelligence may not be completely accurate. Being stubborn about intelligence will only lead you into crisis. Defeating me is the task of the 3 of them, and I don't use ninjutsu, it's just the intelligence for this task. Just now, I used a stunt to escape, and for them, it's not really completing the task. They used intelligence in reverse, caught my carelessness that I thought I had lost after using ninjutsu, and ensured the completion of the mission. This is the true ninja. Do you understand? Understood. Inazukaya was scolded and his mind was a bit confused, but he still had the basic qualities that came from a big family. He immediately understood, but his face became even more complex. Especially looking at Naruto's proud expression, I was almost constipated. When did this idiot Naruto become so strong? Hinata breathed a sigh of relief, no longer having to face difficulties on both sides, and once again the usual sentence in her heart came, Naruto, you're amazing. Yunuji remained silent and thoughtfully looked up at Qimu Liuyun beside her. Hey, 3 little ones, can we finish it now? I've already lost. If we keep going, it's really embarrassing. Shirihong looked at the 3 Naruto people with satisfaction. But she was surprised to find that these 3 people did not answer her, but stared closely at Liuyun. Liuyun nodded with a smile on his face, gently waved his hand, and said, "Okay, the competition is over." Yaha! As the words fell, Naruto excitedly jumped up and cheered. Sasuke closed his eyes and smiled, but Sakura collapsed and sat on the ground with her legs crossed, breathing a big sigh of relief. Seeing the red sun on the evening, my heart trembles with excitement. Prohibition. How did Liuyun educate him? It's only been a few days, how can we achieve this level? Chapter 10. Reverse beheading plan, seeking flowers, seeking. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Shirihong walked over and took a deep look at Liuyun, her crimson eyes sparkling with light. This look startled Liuyun, who quickly took a step back, hugged her tightly, and trembled as she said, "Red sister, don't act recklessly. We're not suitable, and besides, there are so many children around." Bang! "Oh, I'll go." Liuyun covers his head, and Wei looks at the red sun rolling his eyes wrongly, but he keeps roast in his heart. These tiger girls. Never be a wife. Look. What kind of female lead did the seniors choose? If it weren't for my friend's fear of you getting angry and directly demolishing my house, I would give you a defense against rebellion and show you what a great black soul is. Stinky kid, stop talking nonsense here, talk about the right thing. How did you teach me? Shirihong thrust into her waist, with a tiger-like aura inside. Liuyun sneered and rubbed his fingers, this can't be taught for nothing, can it? Humph. 3 months' worth of food, is that enough? Shirihong shook her hand with a grand expression, as if she didn't know what money was. Be open-minded. Liuyun gave a thumbs up and turned his head to look at the 3 little ones who were eager to learn. He smiled and said, "Actually, it's nothing. Just like I said before, don't underestimate D.level tasks. These are all things that the 3 of them have come to understand on their own during these 3 days of D.level tasks." Ha! How could that be possible? We have also done a lot of D.level tasks, how could we achieve this step in tasks like weeding and catching cats? In Zukaya looks like I read a lot and you can't deceive me. Liuyun rolled his eyes and said, "How do you do it? Do you do it once a day or every other day? You don't take D.level tasks seriously, you must just do them perfunctorily. What about us? We have done 8 of them in 3 days, and each one must be done in the fastest and most efficient way possible. We are serious and responsible, never perfunctory. Only in this situation can you truly learn from them. You little brats are all ambitious and think you're very strong. You don't even need the transition to these low-level tasks and want to take on high-level ones. But haven't you ever thought that high-level ones are all idiots? If low-level tasks are really that simple, it's only when they go crazy that you waste time on these tasks. Don't villages need to earn money? Don't you ninjas need to become successful? Teeth no longer clamor, tilting their heads in a chaotic manner. Hinata obediently lowered her head as if she was being taught, but in reality, from the blush in her ears, the cliff was because Naruto and the 3 of them had already walked over, and were too close to each other, about to turn into a precursor to the Steam Queen. Only Jinai, if lost in thought, seemed to have thought of something. Liuyun didn't care whether they understood or not, as he wasn't his own student. He just went ahead and started teaching through rote learning. The D.level task entrusted to you is the foundation of a ninja, clarifying the task objectives, analyzing task intelligence, exploring the task situation, planning the task process, and most importantly, deepening the team's understanding. You need to find the most suitable action mode for you in D.level tasks, improve your understanding, so that you can maximize your team's true strength when completing those dangerous tasks. Excluding your teachers, if your 3-person team doesn't have a tacit understanding, let alone being equal to 3, they may not even have one. This is also the role of the team leader. In fact, every class has gone through this process. I just shortened the process a bit and used extreme methods to make the three of them understand earlier. Pretty, that's what you're saying. I have already sent it myself. Looking at Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura with their radiance, admiration, and even a hint of shame in their eyes, Liuyun felt that his mouth was almost complete. Of course, this statement is not nonsense, it is indeed a fact. However, this fact was only realized by Liuyun after discovering that Class 7 and Class 3 had truly become stronger, combined with some interpretations from his past life. He just wants to make money. Who would have thought that by chance, I had actually unlocked a hidden achievement, which is definitely one of the teaching shortcuts. Even he had already informed Kakashi and wanted to ask the old monkey if he could apply for a patent and get a teaching contribution award or something. I see, it seems we underestimate D.level tasks too much, Jinai nodded, looking as if he knew everything. Hinata looked at Naruto next to her, her heart beating 108, reaching a point of ignoring everything. Her two little hands were about to rub out sparks. My teeth are much worse. With a look of you deceiving me, I asked, even so, what does it have to do with the battle just now? Liuyun's mouth twitched and turned to look at Shirihong, who was covering her face. Liuyun. Sister, that's all. Why don't we quit? It's better than Naruto. Shirihong. I can't leave. I came from a big family with a background and a plan. Please understand. Liuyun. Alright, having money is amazing. A gaze, as if completing a grand play. Okay, it's all Liuyun's brain nourishment. Cough cough, yeah, there's no tacit understanding. Do you think the three of them just defeated Red Sister? Forget it, Sakura, let me give you a highlight moment and explain it. Liuyun has lost any patience with this child who brought funds into the group. After following Liuyun for 3 days, Xiaoying was able to understand the strange words and phrases that occasionally popped out of Liuyun's mouth. She spat out her sweet tongue and playfully said, "It's not a big deal. I was able to fight against Teacher Hong to this extent because of my tacit cooperation. Apart from the cooperation during the battle, the only turning point was when I handed over the subsequent battle plan." That's right. Yip quickly nodded and asked in confusion, although we were far away just now, we could still vaguely hear the plan you mentioned, which was clearly aimed at attacking Teacher Hong's weaknesses. How could it suddenly become like this? It's not just that Yip doesn't understand this, Hinata doesn't understand it, she doesn't understand it, even Hong has a partial understanding, and can't help but look at Sakura in confusion. Yeah, you can all hear. Teacher Hong can hear more clearly. Do you think we would be so foolish to let Teacher Hong hear our plan? Xiaoying rolled her eyes and looked like you were mentally disabled. Teeth speechless, my face blushed a bit. At that time, I also felt a bit wrong, but I was too surprised that you were the brain of this team, and Naruto and Sasuke's cooperation with your brain. I didn't think too much about it, Hong said with confusion, but even so, I haven't seen you explain their other plans to them, and you don't have this time either. When did you actually explain it? At the beginning. Xiaoying shook her head and smiled, this is our tacit understanding. Do you still remember this, Teacher Hong? Xiaoying said and made a left-hand stroke over her neck. Red and others were startled, and they all saw this action clearly. Is this your plan? I thought it was sign language to end the conversation or start taking action. Hong said in surprise. Xiaoying shook her head and explained, this represents the decapitation plan. My preferred hand is my right hand, and if I swing this action with my left hand, it means it's a reverse decapitation plan. That is to say, I'm the bait, luring Teacher Hong to come and kill me, and then replacing it with Naruto's shadow clone while I dodge. I used the transformation technique to hide and delivered the final blow to Teacher Hong. As for what to do in the middle, it's our tacit understanding. We don't need to discuss, we are very clear about when the other party will do what, and each person is responsible for their own affairs. Shirihong and her 3 little ones were stunned, even Kamaru had grown a big mouth. What kind of tacit understanding is this? What kind of tacit understanding is needed to achieve the cooperation we just had without any communication? Only 3 days. Is this still the combination of two people who don't like each other and a little playboy?